terrifying.
That doesn't mean we have to be quiet. I will just edit out the start. But
Yeah. Well, it's 10:05. I think we should start because so yeah, welcome folks. This is the growing your mailing list, and we're going to be looking at Mailchimp. I'm using Mailchimp. It's the one I use. If you've got a WordPress website, there is a plugin called MailPoet that does the same sort of thing. It operates slightly differently, and it is worth exploring. But as a kind of generic mailing list tool, I've used several, and I still come back to Mailchimp because it's very easy to use. So just to sketch out where we're going in the session, the first thing I want to look at is just why a mailing list will be essential in the post-pandemic church because of what we've learned through the pandemic. I want to talk about very briefly about building your tribe and permission marketing, both the notion of a tribe, capital T, and permission marketing are insights from a guy called Seth Godin, who is probably the world's leading marketer online, and is also someone who is deeply committed to value and building relationship. So he's a good guru to go to. Touch very briefly on issues around GDPR and contacts and communications and what we can and can't do. And then have a look at Mailchimp. And what I'd like to be able to do, hopefully, is to use this session to set up your account, create your sign-up form and your first newsletter. You can always go back and nuke it or edit it or do it again, but at least you've got it there. So that's where we're going, and I hope that's sort of what you were expecting. If there's anything, is there anything missing from there that you think, oh, I wanted to find out about X or Y?
No, I don't think so. I think you'll cover what I'm thinking anyway.
Okay, yep. David, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now, prior to the pandemic, people who were using the internet as a marketing platform were deeply into mailing lists. It's not the case that the majority of churches were, and actually that's changed since the pandemic. And the main reason is that we belatedly have discovered that it is possible actually to do real meetings and real relationships online. That's what the pandemic has taught us. That's particularly true of the URC. I always thought it ironic that because I've been pushing for years that we use IT far more for meeting, at least committee meetings. You know, I mean, the day will come when somebody will die on the road going to a committee meeting, and no committee meeting is worth a life. And the view has been within the church that no, we need to be in the same room so that we can read the language and relate properly and communicate. You know, that's ironic, given that the world's nations can strike trade deals, can strike peace treaties over the internet, but the United Reformed Church couldn't. Anyway, that's changed because we've had to go online, and we've discovered that real meeting is possible. And more importantly, so we've discovered at the same time how many more people that we can include if we provide the capacity for people to meet virtually. I don't know. Oh, here comes Gary. I don't know if were either or both of you at the first conference after lockdown that the Northerly Synods ran, called Life After Lockdown. I don't know if you were. Okay, so the Northerly Synods ran a conference online, and we had 214 devices. That's big, for a conference. Morning, Gary. And afterwards, I did some polling, and 83% of the people said that had it been a physical gathering, in other words, one where everyone had to be in the same place, in the same room, 83% of them could not have been there.
Mm.
So the opportunities for inclusion are huge. Also, we've discovered, because we have experienced what people who are housebound have been experiencing for years, that unless you can actually participate in the life of the church, it's very easy to become totally disconnected. And it's not enough simply for people to, for an elder to come around and bring communion. Important though that is not the same thing as being able to participate in the life of the church. Conversely, if we use technology, if we use its potential and capacities, we can actually make it possible for people genuinely to be there. They're there virtually, but they can be there. And so one of the things that's emerging clearly, there are a lot of people doing a lot of research into what the church will look like, or what will prove to be an effective way of operating church, particularly given that large numbers of churches are not going to come back from the pandemic. They're going to stop meeting, at least meeting physically in the church building. And lots of people too are not going to come back for any number of reasons. 2 years means 2 years of aging, which is crucial for some people. There are some people who like the convenience of being at home. There are people who, for health reasons, emotional, psychological reasons, simply are very edgy about coming back into church as we know it, or as we used to know it. And what's very clear is that the most effective future of the church is going to be hybrid. Now, I just want to say something about that for a moment, because we use the term hybrid very loosely. People talk about, oh yes, we're doing hybrid church, which means that occasionally they will show a video or a piece of music using a screen and a digital projector. And yes, that is hybrid in the sense that you're using technology as well as in-person organ playing or something like that. But that's not really what we mean when we talk about hybrid church. The holy grail of hybrid church, the premier digital people who are responsible for premier Christian TV and radio, for my money, it's a mixed bag in the offering. But one of the things they are very, very good at indeed is promoting and exploring the possibilities of technology. They've been doing that for a number of years. And they work closely with an outfit linked to Durham University. The director there is Peter Phillips. And they have pioneered a hybrid church charter. And it's basically a challenge to us as churches, and it says, so hybrid church, genuinely hybrid church will be church that you can access equally successfully, whether you pitch up in person or you pitch up virtually. So it's not just, can we share our services online, but it's, can we make it possible for people to genuinely to be members, active members at every level of church and every level of church life, whether we're talking about sharing in services, whether we're sharing in the leading of services, whether we're sharing in the leadership of churches, elders and committee members and so on, in the social life of church. Can we make it possible for all of church life to be equally accessible? That's the kind of holy grail of hybrid church. And so one of the things that we're trying to do is to encourage churches to engage with the hybrid charter. There's the charter. There are 10 bits to it, and it's very good and it's very worthwhile. Now there are some things that for example, the church to which I belong has a very active badminton club, and there is no way that you're going to be able to play badminton online in the same way. There's no reason why you couldn't watch the people playing badminton, but you know, we're asked to start engaging with those questions. But actually, the point is that providing hybrid church maximizes inclusion. It also maximizes outreach, because there's been a very interesting piece of research that's come out by Hope UK, and what they discovered over the lockdown was that large numbers of people connected with church from a non-church background who'd never connected before. And of those, 53% of them described themselves as 53% of them were under 35. And something like 60% of those under 35s would describe themselves as spiritual seekers. They were very interested. They connected online with things that were going on with church. But they were also quite clear that they had no intention of or interest in becoming physical members of a church, attending a church physically every week. It was the online environment that worked for them. And these are groups of people that traditional church, as it were, prior to the pandemic, has not been good at reaching. And even though they've made connections during the pandemic, they're not going to do so again. So there are all sorts of possibilities there. Any comments or questions about hybrid church before we move on? Okay, this guy is Seth Godin. Seth Godin is Jewish. He's a marketer. He's one of the 10 most influential people in the world at the moment, apparently. And Seth Godin's genius, and he is a genius, is that he has understood marketing in a digital world. But more importantly, what Seth Godin is interested in is honorable, value-laden, value-driven marketing. And I've got to tell you, if you read his stuff, I get his blog posts in my inbox every day, and you could use them as sermons. They really are quite brilliant, because he is so committed to value. So, for example, in terms of marketing, he says, the last thing we need are the old snake juice sellers of the Wild West, you know, who would rock into town with a wagon full of bottles of dubious liquid that apparently cured everything and did everything, and they'd sell it to everyone. They'd make a relative fortune, but they had to get out of town within 24 hours before people realized they'd been conned. And, you know, then they had to move on. They never came back because they'd have got scragged. And he said, you know, that was marketing, particularly in the 80s and 90s. which was you sell as much as you can and you hype it up and you con people if necessary, but you're looking at volumes of sales and then moving on. Godin says, not interested in that stuff. It doesn't work for me. What I am interested in is creating relationships. And he started out as a consumer. And he came up with this, this notion of permission marketing. He was sitting in his study one day and he heard the letterbox flap go, and he went to the letterbox, and again he had a whole pile of junk mail that had plopped through his door. And he just lost his rag. And he said, you know, I've got up, I've stopped work, I've broken my concentration. I've gone to find a pile of stuff that I didn't ask for and I don't want, and I'm not interested in. And in fact, I am really offended by, you know, Pete's Pizza Parlor. If ever I want pizza, the last place I'm going is to Pete's Pizza Parlor, because Pete keeps interrupting me and trying to shove his pieces of pizza down my throat when I'm not interested. I haven't asked for them and I'm not going to eat them. And he said, you know what I would respond to though? I would respond to a piece of advertising that said, we're here, and give us a call anytime you need some pizza. You can be sure that you'll get pizza, decent pizza, and you'll keep coming back for more. And he said, that's useful to me. That's what I want. That's what I want to hear. And he said, if somebody was doing that, I would give them permission to send me their stuff. So if Pete, the good guy, gave me some pizza and I really enjoyed it, and I would want to know if he was going to increase the range of his menu. He could ring me up, he could send me an email, he could send me a text, whatever I gave him as contact details, because I'm interested in what he's giving me. And it's this thing called permission marketing. And so Seth Godin says, forget all this throw stuff at people unasked for. Rather, he said, send an email around that says, we're a pizza parlor and we're opening up in your area. If you'd like to hear from us, please send us your email and we'll make sure that you hear from us. Otherwise, you're not going to hear from us again. We're not interested in pushing stuff down your throat. What Seth Godin was saying is that he's not interested in the people who don't want pizza. He's interested in the people like him who really do like pizza, but who want good pizza, and they want it consistent, and they want consistently good pizza, and they want to know about it. And he said, I am part of a tribe, the tribe who wants Pete's Pizza. Now, there's some other people who don't like pizza. There's some people who don't live anywhere near Pete's Pizza, and it's of no interest to them. But I'm one of the people that really wants what Pete's Pizza is providing. Let's just try and pull this together. So the most effective way of communicating with church people, and particularly if we're looking at outreach, we're wanting to reach out to people over the internet. First of all, you are only going to talk to people who give you express permission to send them your stuff. So it may be fine to send out one email, you know, your initial advert, saying this is what we're providing. If you're interested, in other words, if you're one of the tribe out there, connect. Let's connect, and we'll work together. But if you're not, and you're not interested, don't worry. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to interrupt you. That's interruption marketing versus permission marketing. We're going to be providing you with something that you genuinely want. So Seth Godin is saying, if we translate this into, as it were, church and gospel terms, we're not interested in the hardcore atheists out there. We're not interested in hardcore Anglicans who are never going to be interested in the URC way of doing things. What we're looking for are the tribes, the people out there who are waiting to hear what we've got to offer and are keen to hear it. They're the ones who are going to respond to the message. And that's the funnel. That's all our communications are directed towards that end, establishing relationships, ongoing relationships, not hit and run relationships, but ongoing relationships with the tribe. Does that make sense to you? You can see why that's important, and you can see how different that is from some of the ways in which we tend to market. You know, certainly from what I know, from what I've experienced, what we often do is we target all our energy at persuading the most hardcore skeptics or the people who are most resistant to our message. And Seth Godin would say, you know, forget about them. You're not interested in them. What you want are the people who are responsive. Jesus said something very similar to his disciples when he sent them out on their mission. He said, preach the good news, and if people won't accept it, just shake the dust off your feet and move on. And I want to suggest that this is a far more effective, energy efficient model, and more gospel shaped in terms of our communication with people. Any comments before we move on? Okay. So I want to suggest to you that if we think of ourselves as churches as trying to find the people out there who are receptive to our message, who want to hear what we've got to say, whatever that is, and we make contact with them, but leave the permission in their hands, then we're going to be in a good place. And one of the best ways of doing that, of communicating, is through Mailchimp, because Mailchimp is designed exactly to do that. It is there to put the message out there as attractively as possible, get people to sign up, in other words, to give us permission to establish a relationship and to keep those and to start and keep those communication channels open. And of course, also Mailchimp has got built into it the compliance with GDPR regulations, and so I'm suggesting that this is going to be a very effective way of maintaining and growing our post-pandemic congregation. Maintaining it because communication is key. We need to let people know what we're good at. We've been saying for years as churches, we need to improve our communication. Growing because it's a way of establishing new relationships, as well as putting our old relationships on a new footing and changing the dynamic of communication. So that's what we're going to do in the rest of the session. So let's have a quick look at Mailchimp, and what I'd suggest that you do, if you have a Mailchimp account already, open your browser, sign into Mailchimp, mailchimp.com, and log into your account. If you haven't, open your browser and log into mailchimp.com. And be ready, and we'll work through signing up. It's free, and getting our first campaign and our first sign up campaign underway. So that's what we'll do within the next hour, I hope. Experiment with your screen. What you can do is if you've got my screen share at full screen, just hit escape, and then you can resize the screen so that you can see my screen, but you can also see your own screen, which is going to be much easier if you're going to look at my screen and then work on your own. Okay. So I'll give you a couple of moments to do that. Just let me know when you're ready, if you will. So Mailchimp builds in permission marketing. That's its basis. And it navigates us automatically through all the forest of regulations. And if we comply with if we just follow Mailchimp, you know, all that stuff is built in, and we can relax, and we will be fully compliant with the rules and regulations about data storage. So first of all, signing up. If you're new to it, this will be the page that you're on, but you can see that you can sign up for free. Otherwise, you've logged in. Do you see the permission marketing that's built in here? You get to tick to say, I don't want to receive updates from Mailchimp related to marketing best practice, products and feature updates and promotions. So that's
been quite a recent. It's like it's been interesting seeing that develop, because some still go for the other way around, in that, you know, tick to say I do, and you know, there's nothing that, you know, it may one may argue it's a little bit of a tricky one, because to try and trick you into doing it, but ultimately, you know, if you don't read it, it's your own fault. So
yeah. And for my money, you know, ethically, I find opting in is genuinely permission marketing. You can click to opt out, but it's easy to miss, and people rely, as you say, Dan, they rely on it. Okay, so you've signed up. My one that I signed up for here as an example, I made myself Lawrence 1959. Activate the account. So what we're going to do is to set up our sign up landing page.
Okay.
Now this is a landing page so that when people fill in, it's going to generate a link, and when people, so you can email the link that says, this is us, and if you'd like to join our mailing list, which is what we're doing, we're growing the mailing list, click on this link, and people will click on the link and they'll be sent to your sign up landing page. And you don't have to monitor this. This will all be done automatically for you.
Okay.
So it says ready to get started, or at least this is where I am. It says send your first email. So I'm going to click get started. This is the key page. It's the kind of campaign that you want to do. So if you're on campaigns, new.
I've got a grow your audience with a sign up landing page. So I need to think of an attractive landing page name and then select an audience. So
Okay, so you'll pass this one, right? Yeah, this one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just called my brand new email list. I've called my audience Northwest Synod, because I'm assuming I'm doing a Synod page. You could make it, you know, Whittling on the Water URC or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And the audience is just, well, I've only got a choice, it's me or me, so.
Well, you can create an audience that you can call whatever you want to do.
So are those like subgroups within your overall contacts list?
No, it's the name of your overall contact list.
Ah, right.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you call it, but so, for example, mine will be Northwest Synod. Now, within that, I get everyone who signs up I can segment the list. So I could say within the list, I'm going to send something just to the people who are lay preachers.
Yeah.
Just to the people who are ministers.
I don't know where you called your audience Northwest Synod, because that second box is just a drop down box, so I can't change it. I've only got one choice.
Okay. It just so bear with me. Have you got an audience down here? Okay, just leave it for the moment. You can always, I think you can always come back, because you can create multiple signups. So
Right.
That's okay. Okay. So it now takes you, if you click on that, it should bring you to this page.
Yep, asking for a template.
Yep. So you're looking for the one that says grow your list, which is somewhere near the bottom, I think.
Yep, got it.
Okay, click on that. And that's what it's going to be for the moment. So this, you edit on the right hand, you edit on the right hand side here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very iChurch-esque.
Yeah, it is. Very. Very. And you can come back and you know, put in a logo, or if you've got one now, put it in. And I've just the tone that you're aiming for is conversational and relationship building, not so casual, it's flippant.
Yep.
So that brings you to this, right?
Oh, hang on. How do I get to that next? Save and close, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Yep.
So you're ready. That's your sign up. That's your landing page, Gary.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to get a link that you can email out to everybody, which when they click on will bring you to that sign up page, and you can see. Hang on a second. You'll see that it's asking for their email address, and they click subscribe, and it'll add them to the list automatically. So go ahead and publish your thing, but bear in mind there's your URL for your sign up page that you need to copy. I mean, you don't have to do it now. There'd be a chance to do it, but that's what you're going to send them to. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you publish your page, and it says it's a home run, and if you click on this, you can view your landing page, or you can share it automatically by linking to your Facebook or your Twitter accounts. So they're going to make it as easy as possible for you to get this out as widely as possible.
So if you so if I click the Facebook thing,
yeah,
it just creates a post and says, yeah, okay.
Or I mean, you know, your bog standard thing would be to click to copy this link.
Yeah.
And then you just put it in an email. But now, what I suggest you do is you might have one or two or several different subscription lists. David has been running one during the lockdown, which is going to run till Christmas, and then they're going to swap over to this one. So what you can do is email everybody that you know as a one-time hit, and say, we have created a mailing list. If you sign up to the mailing list, you'll receive a newsletter, or whatever you're going to give people, so you let them know. Sign up using the link below. And if you're going to make everything else redundant, tell them. So, they might have signed up to other things before. Just tell them you will need to sign up for this.
Okay, that works.
And then when they click on this link, they're going to get your sign-up sheet, and then they're going to become part of your audience. So you've got an audience dashboard, and this is where you can create audiences, which are your lists. Where we were talking about, mine was NW Synod, and your contacts will appear as people add themselves.
Right. How did you get to audience?
I went to the dashboard. I went to my Mailchimp dashboard.
Yeah, I'm getting, here's what's happening. You've reached the end of the feed, total audience.
Is that, are you on, if you look, I've got a series of
Yeah, I haven't got those.
You haven't?
No.
Do you see where it's...
I found it. Found it.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Right.
So
audience dashboard.
Yeah.
So as they sign up, that will self-populate.
That'll self-populate. Yeah. And you can put contacts. I mean, you can add as many as you want, but people need still to subscribe to comply with GDPR, which is to give permission.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. You see, your audience has one contact. One of these are subscribers. If I've got for my your church, I've got something like 132 contacts, 121 of which are subscribers. So when I send a campaign out, it automatically goes to 121, not to 132. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Because this is free.
Yeah.
What are the limitations?
The limitations are 2,000 contacts.
Okay. Well, there's a target to aim for.
So yeah. It'll last you at least 6 weeks.
Yeah. And can you have like more than one administrator?
I'm not sure that you can. That might be one of the
Like paid plans or what have you?
paid plans. Yeah, and an upgrade.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so now you've got your the first thing that this does is to help you grow your mailing list. Now we want to maintain the mailing list, and you can do that through newsletters, because this is a newsletter generator as well. So
Okay.
what we're going to do is you're going to campaigns.
Got it. Yeah.
And then create a new campaign. You'll find a button there somewhere.
Right. There's something about Apple. Now I've got something about Facebook. Right. Okay. Get rid of those. Okay. Right.
So you want to go to your dashboard.
Yep.
and create a new campaign. Your campaigns, this icon with the megaphone, if you click on that.
And then email templates.
Yeah, you want email and you want regular. So we're about to start with, you've done your sign up form. So you had generated something like this, and people automatically, once they put in their email address and click subscribe, they automatically appear on your contact list. Okay. So you're there.
Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah.
David, you're there with us?
I'm just catching up.
Okay.
Right. Go on though, because I've just missed the last half an hour. I'll tell you why later. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay. So so we've now got we're now growing our list. But the point is, obviously you're going to use Mailchimp to communicate with your list. So you're going to send out your first newsletter. So let's go to campaigns, and if you go to your dashboard, your campaign is this megaphone icon. Click on it. And then you're creating an email campaign, and it's a regular email campaign.
There's when you click on campaigns on the top right, you need to click create campaign.
Create a new campaign, yeah.
And then click email and regular. And then you'll get to the page that Lawrence has got.
Thanks, Gary. So give your campaign a title. I've said we're launching our mailing list. Good. So when you click begin, you'll find yourself taken to this.
Okay.
So if you click add recipients, you're going to it's going to ask you for your list, your audience list. You're going to click from, and you're going to click subject and fill it in, and then design email. This is, first of all, it says, how would you like to import your contacts? I've just copied and pasted. And so my list includes 3 of my email addresses so far. So I'm being inundated with emails from me. But this is where this is how you start, and then you're working from there.
Okay.
Okay. So that's all the people that you want to send this email to. Then you organize your contacts. They are non-subscribed. I was saying to Gary, your contacts, you can add as many contacts as you like, but they need actually to subscribe for if they're going to receive the newsletters automatically. It's the permission marketing. So it's to stop you spamming. So Mailchimp stops you spamming and gets you the permission of your subscribers.
Lawrence, can you just explain to me, when you say that, does it send this to them and then ask them to subscribe, or do you get them to subscribe and then it sends this to them?
Normally, if you've got a subscription list already, it will send it to them.
Yeah.
But this is your opening move. So you haven't got a big email list. So you're going to send it to everyone that you know, and you're offering them a chance. This is your one hit, Dave, to say, this is what we're doing, and you can be part of it if you'd like to. When they subscribe to it, future email campaigns, it'll only send it to the people who are on your list.
Ah, yeah, I understand that.
Because when you start your new campaign next time and you click add recipients, it'll say, which list of subscribers do you want to send it to?
Okay.
So now it brings you to select a template.
Lawrence, can I think I've clicked on something previous to that, and it's taken me to organize your contacts.
Okay, there.
Subscribed, unsubscribed, non-subscribed, and cleaned.
So you want non-subscribed for this first one.
Right, thank you.
Okay. Right. So now we're on select a template, layouts. And what you will be looking at is, I suggest that you go for the make an announcement. I mean, you can do what you want, but I'm suggesting make an announcement, given that this is we're launching our email. And when you've selected that, it'll open it in edit mode. And there are different ways of editing. You can use blocks. But if you just click on it's time to design your email, like that, you'll see that you've got the preview on the left-hand side. You've got the preview. On the right-hand side, you've got your writing panel. And you can add your own logo. Now, what I suggest you do is you just put a very short bit of text, because you're not going to send this one out, or if you are, go back and edit it afterwards. But at the moment, you just want this in your, you just want a newsletter already done for the purpose of having signed up and got your account working as you need it to work. So in this newsletter, I would explain to people very clearly, if this was my first one, I'd explain very clearly what we are doing. So what we're doing, so Dave, this is where you would say, you might have been on the email list over lockdown, but we're now rationalizing everything, and we're having a single email list. And if you sign up to this, you will be able to, you will get a newsletter every month or whatever. And as I said to Gary, I would, at every point, I would say, we promise we won't spam you. We won't pass on your details to anyone. Your information is safe with us. And here's the sign up link. Please do sign up. Stress to people that if they're already part of this, those lists are becoming redundant, and this is what you're doing. Tons of love and kisses and your name. And you can see there's your campaign. We're launching our mailing list. Now, if you've published it, it won't say create campaign up here, it'll say send it. And that's where you click send, and then it'll send. So just by way of finishing, let me show you. Once you've got subscribers on your list, this is what the process will look like. If you'll bear with me a moment, I will. I'm just going to log into my Your Church campaign. Okay, so let me show my screen. So I will go. I'll find myself. I'm going to send a letter, a newsletter out about the next Your Church service. So I've gone to Mailchimp to the login, and I log in. It takes me to my campaign page, and what's interesting is that it gives me a record of the campaigns. So this was for last Sunday. I've got a nearly 60% open rate, 121 deliveries, 130 opens.
Just worth adding in at that point as well. Some of you may be looking at that and going, hang on a minute, 60%, that's pants. I want everyone to read it. 60% in email marketing is really, really good. And I'm sure we're all guilty of this, of receiving an email, particularly if it's from Lawrence, and just deleting it. We all do it. So yes, you know, anything above kind of 40% is positive.
Good.
Well, the industry average is 24%.
Yeah.
So
but how does it work where you've sent 121?
Yeah.
60% have been opened.
Yeah.
But total opens are 130. Is that some people going back to it twice?
Yeah.
Right.
So 60% of the people have opened it and as you say, gone back. I'm left with 131 people. Look at that. I've got 131 people in my list, but only 121 of them are subscribers. So there are a lot of people who still haven't subscribed. They've received it, they've stayed on the list, but they haven't subscribed. So now I'm going to go to my campaigns, and I click on that megaphone. I'm going to create a campaign, and I'm going to go to email, regular. My new campaign name is Sunday Service, absolutely riveting title, begin. It'll take me to this this page that we were talking about. Now look at the edit recipients, all subscribe contacts in the audience, Your Church 2020. So let me just show you. Don't take any notes. I've got my audience dashboard. I've got 131 contacts, 120 of them are subscribers, and it's offering to send it to all subscribed contacts in that audience. And you can segment the audience by editing your recipients. So you can create segments of subscribers within the list. Who's sending it? I'm sending it. What's the subject line for this campaign? Your Church Service, Sunday, 28th of November, 6:30 p.m. And it's interesting. I'll save it. Oh, I meant to do that before. Hold on. Let me. It gives you tips. it's short and sweet. There's a tick there, so that's going to be effective. Emojis are great in small quantities. Staying under, that's impressive. So you've got guidelines about how to make your campaign as effectively as possible, as effective as possible. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And now it's going to ask me to design the email. So I click on design. It's going to take me to my template page, select a template. But this time, instead of starting from scratch, I've saved a template. And that's what it looks like. Excuse me. So now I've already got my logo there. And I click on, it's time to design your email. And now I've changed this. Now I want to make that this is under styles. I can see it's a heading, so I'm going to make this a subheading, heading 2. But it's not quite WYSIWYG, because if you see on this side, I've got a good space, whereas there isn't a line space between them on the actual one. So you're looking all the time at your at your preview to see what it looks like. You can add an image. Actually, I better place the cursor where I want the image to appear. So it's very like any of the writing panels. Let's say it's that one. I'm going to change that to 600 and save and insert. Yeah, that's what I want my thing to look like. And I'm going to save and close. Click continue. It'll take me back to the campaign page. I've got to remove the placeholder text. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to send this one. I'm going to bin it. But what would then happen is, instead of create campaign, you've got your finish later. You can schedule it, so you can create this today and schedule it to go out at midday on Wednesday, or you can click send and it'll send it to all your subscribers. Also, very usefully, you can send a test email, and it's worth doing. So I can click on send a text email. I'll send myself one. I'll check it out, do a last proofread, and send it out. Any questions?
Oh, that's good. Have to play with it.
Just to
you see what happens once you've built your list. That's really what I wanted to show you. Sorry, Dan, go on.
Yeah, just to chip in at this point with on email templates. I'll just start sharing so you can see. In kind of your on your campaigns on the left hand side, you've got, this is where you can design your email template. So you click on email templates. This is what we have for the daily devotions. We've got a load of different email templates for the different things that we send out. So it kind of helps to take out the repetition, as Lawrence was pointed out with the template he's got. But as well as even just something as simple as having your logo at the top, we've been able to design kind of around the edges and stuff as well. If I just go on to here, we've kind of, and obviously if you receive the daily devotions, you'll see this. These use a template. So all of these bits at the top basically are kind of generic, and so they'll appear on every single email we send out, and then all we need to do is change this bit in the middle, which is our, the meat of our email. But it means you've got those kinds of standard bits, so you don't have to add them every single time to your email. The other thing as well about audiences is you can have, as Lawrence was inferring, more than one. So if you were, say, even something as small as, like, if you're interested in a Bible study, in doing a Bible study series or whatever, sign up using another sign up form. So that means you can sign people up to this Bible study mailing list. And the beauty of all of these mailing lists is you don't have to keep, compared to emails, is you don't have to keep adding people onto it. As Lawrence said, it's all automated. So as soon as you say, I want to send an email to all of my Bible study people who are interested, then it will do that as long as they're all signed up. So it means, say, I don't know, 2 sessions into the Bible study, you get a couple more people sign up. You don't have to worry about whether they're adding them to your list or anything. If they've signed themselves up, then job done. So it will send to loads of people.
Yeah, and taking that a step further, so you might have your church, so virtually your whole membership signs up. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Now, what you could do is you could segment your list and create within it people who are interested in being in a Bible study. So you've got your audience with a segment. Or what you might find is people might not be prepared to sign up to your generic list because they don't want newsletters every month or whatever, but they would be interested in just your Bible study. And that would be an instance in which I would, as Dan was suggesting, create a new audience list rather than segmenting the one that I've got.
Right.
But you're meeting people where they are. You're not trying to force people to do things your way. You're saying, I can offer you this. Let's create a relationship. Let's work together. And it is very, very, very effective at doing that.
How many people can use one account? So I'm just thinking, for example, if my church secretary is the Mailchimp account,
yeah,
can I access that account to do the Bible study stuff?
I think you can have one person who runs an account. Otherwise, you'll need to upgrade to a paid version, which allows different administrators. Dan, are you looking?
I think that's correct. Yeah. I mean, having said that anyway, and I would apply this across all the different accounts and things you could use, is use a generic email address, generic password that you can still both sign in at different points. Obviously that's technically not so correct, but it works. So it should work.
Just let me share my screen. Here are the different Mailchimp plans. If you click upgrade, so you can have 2,000 contacts and 10,000 email sends on your free plan. You've got for $9.99 a month A/B testing. It doesn't say actually there. It used to say.
I think so. I've just looked at it through another way, and with the Essentials plan, you get 3 users. With the Standard, you get 5. And I think with all of them, even when it says kind of up to 500 contacts or whatever, you can individually, I think, upgrade any of the plans. So, as in, if you're on an Essentials contract and it says you've got 500 contacts. You can upgrade that Essentials to so you still got just the features of the Essentials. In fact, I've just grabbed it up here. I'll just start sharing. So I've just clicked on the Essentials plan. And it says, you know, it's with 500 contacts, but you're thinking, well, actually Standard also has 500 contacts. There's a sliding scale here that you can basically adjust at any time. It'll come into effect and charge you for the extra straight away. And then, you know, if you find, oh, well, it's too much or it's too little, you can just change it. Obviously the price, you know, does go up, but yeah. Obviously 500 for most of us usually won't be a problem.
One day it won't be.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Scalable. It's scalability built in. Any questions, folks?
No,
I
I
think
don't
it's a
think so.
case of playing with it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But hopefully, well, I mean, I hope you find it useful. It's a really good system. It's pretty intuitive. It is about playing with it and seeing what you can do with it, and you know, involving other people. The other way of getting around, obviously, you can have a plan that allows you more than one administrator on the account, or you simply have a team who all have sign-in access. So if you've got someone who's good at designing your template, you know, give them the access and let them go to work.